evening, everybody, and welcome to our second annual Skinner Middle School Debate Competition. My name is Nate Braidman. I will be your Master of Ceremonies. Let me explain a little bit to our audience members what we've been doing throughout the year and explain the methodology and the content that we have been studying. What we do, what we abide by, our company, is we believe the best way to master knowledge is to go through a crawl, walk, run strategy. So what we do is in order to master a certain topic, we have the kids memorize certain basic facts. That's the crawl stage, and then we have them draw conclusions from those facts. That is the walk stage, and then we have them develop a persuasive argument and debate and counterpoints, and that is the run stage. And now we will turn most importantly to who. So let me introduce our teams. On my left, immediate left, is Miss Annalisa Montoya, and she's the subject matter expert for appeasement. Next, Miss Aspen Coates, and she is going to be covering the Korean War. Next is Alan Cisneros, and he is the expert on the Cuban Missile Crisis, followed by Daniel Brown. He'll be covering the end of the Cold War, and our cleanup hitter is Mr. Owen Smith, who will be talking all things Iraq. Their competition. On my right, we begin with Mr. Calder McCarthy. He will be debating the appeasement section. Next, Miss Marissa Lucero will be covering the Korean War, followed by Miss Alondra Gil Gonzalez, and she will be taking the Cuban Missile Crisis. A.J. Sanchez will be our end of Cold War expert, and our cleanup hitter on this team is Mr. Hayden Breitzman. So he will be debating Mr. Smith on the Iraq War. So let's begin with our lightning round drill. What I do is I will ask them questions, and they will have to answer as many as they can correctly in 1 minute for 1 point each. AJ, you ready? Here we go. You have 1 minute. What is NATO stands for this?
Pass.
The Soviets thought this NATO exercise was a prelude to war in '83?
Pass.
How big was the Soviet Union's economy compared to the United?
1/4.
Reagan's policy to end the Cold War?
We win, they lose.
Gorbachev wanted Reagan to confine SDI to this.
The laboratory.
At their 1986 summit, Reagan and Gorbachev agreed to reduce their arsenals to this number?
100.
The year the Berlin Wall fell.
1989.
Define skepticism.
Doubt.
Define analogy.
Comparison.
Define rhetoric.
A special kind of language.
Next, bonus points. Capital France.
Paris.
Define persistently.
Continuously.
Define charismatic.
Pass.
Critics of SDI called it this.
Pass.
Okay. All right. Why did President Reagan believe there was an irreconcilable difference? There's that word again. Between the United States and the Soviet Union. So, I'll ask you this. What system at the time did the Soviet Union exist under?
Communist.
Okay. Why was this system so offensive to American ideals?
Because it went against everything that that we believe in, such as communism is where everybody gets gets the same amount of money, while in America everybody gets different amount of money for how much they earn and how much they work. And communism, their leaders are born under leadership, while in America we vote.
Okay, very good. What had the Soviet Union traditionally supported around the world that we opposed?
They wanted they wanted kind of world equality, but they just wanted to have everybody be equal, like world communism.
Okay. How did most people at the time look at the Cold War ending? When they looked at it in the 1980s, what did they see? How did they envision it ending?
Well, when the Berlin Wall fell, everybody was excited, especially in Germany. They were happy how the Berlin Wall fell and how now communism was no longer in Germany. And a lot of people thought that a lot of people saw it as Russia being defeated.
Okay, and how did Reagan end the Cold War, finally? His grand strategy mentioned we win, they lose, but what was the final outcome with SDI used as a bargaining chip to do what?
Shoot.
Okay, we'll move on to our debate.